Hey guys, Simon here. Welcome back to the Twitch stream. We're going to keep working on this little interior scene that I'm kind of creating in Blender, which is like a mix of sort of 2D, 3D concept art. Yeah, just trying to create a little scene. So, just a quick little recap is we have basically this. I didn't do this in the stream. I did it in a class, which was just a flat design of an entranceway, and I'm taking kind of this design and then building it up in 3D, and potentially near the end we could paint over it back in Photoshop and things like that. But these days I can get pretty much most of the scene done in Blender. So let's just kind of get stuck into it and start modeling out some of these pieces. So just trying to think about what would be the best place to start for today. Let's maybe kind of work on this like control panel area a little bit, and I can show you how we sort of do that. So now a lot of times what I'll do is just try and I'm just debating on whether I do this in a new scene. I might. So what I find is, the reason why I'm thinking about that is sometimes I find it hard to kind of like design and model and stuff like in this big scene. It starts just getting a little bit overwhelming. So a lot of times what I do is I create a new scene and do my props individually in that scene, and that's just a little bit easier to kind of manage. So yeah, I'll show you how to do that. So we're just going to copy this. Let's just do actually, so let's right click on the little blender icon, and if we go Blender, we have to I want to have both of these open at the same time. This is what happens if I do this. There we go. So we'll just open Blender again. So then we've kind of got two versions of Blender open here. So let's just go General. Let's paste that in. Wow, very amazing. Is that what it was? Just want to double check this. Oh, I see. So it's the side. I get it. So if we just rotate this kind of 90 degrees. So hit R, just type in 90, and then that's the size that we want this little pillar to be. Let's go Shift A, Mesh, Plane, and hit S and just scale this up, right? So I find I make these planes gigantic after a while. Let's just delete that. Oh, actually we won't delete this because we need it. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is let's start working on like kind of a little prop. So sort of like this control panel section here, right? That's what I'm going to kind of work on. So let's just try and work on getting these initial shapes happening. All right, so it's good that we have this piece because this cube here, because I can use this. Let's just go Shift D, Escape, and just move that across. Oops, moving it in the wrong spot. All right, let's move this up. Right now, I just want to check how big. Okay, cool. So this needs to be quite small. Let's go to the front mode, hit G, let's move that around. Let's move this to the front. All right, cool. So something like that, and I've got sort of a mirrored piece of this shape in a second. So just make this a little bit smaller, I think. Yeah, I think something like that is good, but we'll kind of fill around with this. I think I just need to make this main pillar just a bit thinner, and then a little bit smaller. Yeah, sweet. Okay, that's pretty cool. And then I just want to change the shape of this just a tiny bit. So the way I'm going to do that is let's just tab in. That goes into edit mode. Select this bottom face, hit number 3 on the keyboard, I'll select faces, E, and then drop that down a touch, and then I just want to kind of shrink it in a bit, something like that. Pretty cool. So let's tab out of that. I just want to make this a little bit skinnier, so that we've got a bit of a gap here, or it just doesn't create a tangent there. All right, so that's cool. All right, and then if I look at my reference, I think this is a bit, it's not quite as tall, so that's good. Let's then bevel this as well. So let's tab in. All right, actually, before we do that, tab out. Control A, rotation and scale. We didn't really do any rotation, but I just get used to doing that just in case. So if you hit N on the keyboard, that brings up these options over here. N hides that, N bring it up, N hide, N bring it up. All right, so that just reset the scale here to 1 for everything. So if I undo that, you can see these are all different scales. Okay, if I edit, or we'll do it again, Control A, rotation scale, it just resets all of these back to 1, right? So then if I tab in and hit L, everything's selected, Control B, and then I can do a bevel. Yeah, and then we can sort of start to choose whether we want to have it, you know, a curvy one or just like more of a sort of straight edge thing. But I think that's pretty cool. All right, so that's good. That's kind of like my basic shape for what I want to do here, which I think is cool. It's good. So let's go Shift D, escape, and then we're going to mirror this. So Control M, and I guess it's the Z. There we go, and that mirrors it kind of up and down. So it's just like flipping it in Photoshop, which is really cool. And then let's have a look here, and then I still think that we need these to be a little bit smaller here. Let's get everything a little bit smaller because I know the height of this. And then we just want to just scale that in a bit. Doesn't feel quite in the middle either. Let's just move that. Cool. All right, that's better. So we've got this little control panel here. What else do we want to do? We want to kind of add in some kind of screens into this, and just maybe cut in, or there's like a few different ways we can do it. We could like kind of boolean it, which is a bit naughty. We could do kind of knife cut. All the ways I do it are kind of not are all a bit dodgy. All right, but that's okay, because remember, we're not really being production ready 3D modelers doing this stuff. So let's like tab in. All right, and I think this might work. Let's have a look. So I'm just gonna go, what do I want to do actually? Let's go Control R and add an edge loop. Click it once and oops, actually undo. All right, Control R. I'm gonna middle mouse wheel, right? So I kind of get some other edge loops in here. All right, that's good. Let's have those ones, and then what do we want to do? Just looking at my reference here. I might go Control R and add one in there, and Control R and add one in there. Oops, just hit escape if you move it accidentally, and then it will sit there, which is pretty cool. Let's go Control R and add one kind of in here as well. All right, this is going to be our screen. We're going to have a few little screens here, and we've got a few down here. So let's just work on this one first. I'm going to get the knife tool as well. All right, so what I might do first, go Control R and add another edge loop sort of in here. Right, like that. And let's get the knife tool and just cut this. Sorry, so knife tool K. All right, let's cut this and just put a little cut in there, hit enter. All right, let's go K, and there's a gap. So it's that one there, and another little cut in there. Let's go enter. You gotta be careful with the knife tool. It can get away from you pretty quickly, so you just gotta be careful with it. So let's do another cut. Actually, you know what? Just so I get these like nice straight lines working, let's add another edge loop in there. So Control R, and then do K, and hit enter. Another knife cut tool, K, enter. All right, there we go. So let's then hit number 3 on the keyboard. All right, and we're going to select all of these. And let's move something in. Let's not do that. All right, select these guys. Okay, and this is going to be one of our little screen areas. So then let's just hit E for extrude, right? And we can pull things out, but we can also push it in a bit. So let's just push this in just a touch, not too much. And then the other thing I'm going to do is hit S and just like scale this down. And then we'll get like a nice little sort of beveled edge on there as well, right? That's really cool. Okay, awesome. And then let's work on these other screen bits. Now they're going to be a bit tricky because the topology is sort of changing around here, like at the front. So we've got like kind of curves. So we might have to be a bit naughty with these ones and kind of like do some booleans here. So let's maybe do that. All right. So let's tab out of this. All right. Shift A, mesh. Actually, you know what? Let's kind of get this working a bit better. So let's shift right click on here. That'll set your origin point to like on the surface of that. So shift A, mesh, cube, and it will literally make a cube like where you wanted it. All right, which is pretty cool, because then we don't have to go and find it and muck around with things that way. So let's go back to the front mode, right? And let's like scale this down and try and get the right size that I want. So I think I want something like that, to maybe a little bit smaller. All right, pretty good. Okay, then what I'm going to do is come in here and just tab into this, Control B, and do a bevel. All right, so we get a nice little bit more of a curved shape, which is cool. Let's tab out. All right, let's go Shift D, escape, and we've got a duplicate, and Shift D, escape, and we've got a duplicate there. And then we just want to grab all 3 of these and just try and line them up in the middle as best we can. All right, there's just a little bit more gap there. Sweet, cool. All right, now I've got these 3. Let's join them together. So select one, select the next one, select the next one, Control J. You got to click on, you got to make sure that you clicked on the ones you want to join together first. If you clicked on something else and then you select the other 3, well, I won't join them. Or if you add a lot of light in there or something weird, it won't work. So let's just do that. And then what I want to do is I just want these to just go into the surface like just a little bit, about the same distance as what we've got here, right? So something like that, I think. And then let's try this. So let's select this object that we want to cut out of. Let's do a modifier. Let's go Boolean, and we've got difference, right? And we want to color pick these cubes here that we join together, and then it's basically done. So then what you do is there's a little triangle drop down here which says apply, and you can just apply it, or you can go Control A and that will just apply the modifier. And then we move this and we should have these little cuts, these little screens cut out, right? Awesome. So that worked perfectly. You do have to be careful with booleaning stuff. It's sort of like a dodgy way of doing things. The reason why it's dodgy is because when we go in here, it's like kind of mucking around with the topology. It's like not making it neat and tidy. It's doing all stuff that kind of 3D programs don't necessarily like. And if you have multiple modifiers kind of stacked up, I've found that's when students have a real hard time and Blender starts breaking. So kind of do your boolean, you know, set it as difference, then apply that once you've got it, and then yeah, kind of apply all the booleans, and then it sort of works a little bit better. So, you know, for example, we could even just make a couple other little cuts and things, right? So we could do some stuff like just really simple things where let's maybe put that down. Have that cut in just a touch. All right, select this one, add modifier, boolean, difference, color pick, our cubes, Control A, apply. And then, whoops, Don't be that one. Move that one. Then we should have like a little cut out of there, which is pretty cool, right? So you can get lots of nice little details like that. So then what I might do is just go Shift D, hit escape, and do another one of those, and just put that one over there. All right, grab that, add modifier, boolean, color pick the one you want to do, and then Control A, apply. All right, and now we've got that happening on sort of both sides, which is pretty cool. And like in Blender, it's like Photoshop. There's a million and one ways to do the same thing. So there's all sorts of different ways you do this. I'm also like, there are add-ons and stuff you can get, like box cutter and all sorts of things that, and there's Jama's new stuff as well, which is really cool. There's stuff that's really awesome, and you guys can totally do that. But I like to just show the vanilla way of doing it, just the like straight up out of the Blender box way to do it. So that if you don't have add-ons or anything like that, it's not confusing what I'm doing. You can just, you can do all this stuff, but it is quicker doing it sort of other ways. Yeah, and please, if you got any questions or anything, just like sing out, and yeah, more than happy to answer any questions that you guys have got. Just hang on 1 second, and I am. Hey Ray, how do I bring up the chat? Sorry, just gonna set up the chat really quick. I can straight away. I can see Elijah give me shit. Doing booleans. Get out of here, Elijah. Just go back to being good at 3D modeling, would you? All right. So, yeah. All right. So, yeah. Now I'm sidetracked, aren't I? Oops. Gotta bring up these other spaces we had here. All right. So, next bit. What do we want to do? I'll just show you really quickly how to muck around with some materials, right? So let's go into the like kind of rendered view, and obviously because we put this in a new scene, it's like not, it doesn't look like the other scene, right? So let's really quickly just build that again. So we go down to the shader editor, all right, and go into the shader editor. Let's go to the world. All right, bring those up. Let's not do that. Just make sure we clicked on the background, Control T. Remember, we have our node wrangler enabled. All right, and then we're going to open, and hopefully in the downloads, we still have that one. Very cool. Is that the same one? I don't even know. Hang on. Whatever. I think it is. All right. So anyway, at least we got this set up, so it's looking okay. And then we just go to the render properties tab. We just set this to like 128. We do the ambient occlusion, set it to like 500. We turn on screen space reflections, because then we get our nice lighting, and we're just gonna up the shadows to, whatevs. But yeah, that's kind of like my little setup, but just making the scene look nice, and then you can play around with it from there, right? So let's make this box the same material as this one. So I click on the box first, and then click on the pillar, Control L, and go link materials. All right, that'll link that material. Now I actually want to make this one darker, lighter. Maybe. All right, not sure, but let's unlink that material. So just come down here to our material tab, unlink it, and let's make that one dark. Maybe no, not that dark. All right, let's make it lighter for now. Okay, that'll do. And let's click on this one, click on that one, Control L, and link those materials. All right. Very cool. Okay, now what I'll do now is show you how you can play around with multiple materials. All right, so let's make these like screens. I know that we're gonna sort of do this a different way, but anyway, let me just show you. So let's go back to the world, right? And I just want to play around with strengths. Let's make it 0.3, right? Just so it's a bit darker, so it's sort of, kind of approximating what we've got in our scene, right? And then let's come in here to these screens, and let's tab into here. All right, and then I just want to select the faces, and I could probably would be quicker to do this another way, but whatever. We're here now, clicking faces. All right, let's select those ones as well. Yep, cool. All right. And then what we're gonna do is gonna go to our materials. Okay, we're gonna click the little plus sign here. That's gonna add in like a new material, and we can click new, and then we've got that material, and then we can make it like, you know, blue, bright blue for our screens, right? Which is super cool, but nothing happened. All right, didn't change. So what you need to do is you just got to make sure you click assign, all right, and then that will, you know, put that second material on here, which is really cool. So if we tab out, now we've kind of got our screens being, you know, blue screens, right? Now we could do a couple of things, right? We could also do this. Oops, tab into this one, all right, and let's go to material. We could actually make the material like an emission material. All right, and then we could change the color to like, you know, the blue, and we could make this, you know, like 20 or whatever. And then, you know, we've got it kind of being glowy. So if we make this 0.1 or 0.05, make it darker. And then this is kind of like lighting up, right? Which is cool. So you could do it as like an emission texture. That's how you can do like lots of glowies and stuff. Very cool, right? Let's make this 5, or let's make this like 100. I think I'll just go like white, sort of, yeah. So you've got that. This works really well when you go into cycles. Like it does really emit the light around in Eevee. You know, it doesn't quite work as well, and you got to kind of set up other nodes and things. So a lot of times what I do is I just leave this as the principled BSDF, right? And then just make it blue. And make it our, you know, whatever color you want it to be. 2.2, just make this a little bit like that. And then what I kind of do to get the glowies happening is just go Shift A, light, do a little point light, and you can see already it's kind of doing what it should be doing. And then we can make this like a bluey color. Yeah, and then you've got, you know, kind of lights emitting out of your screen, right? And you can do that. So I use that one quite a lot as well. So that's pretty cool. So I just wanted to show you that quickly, how you can make a light, make the screen, you know, 2 different materials on one object, right? And you can have heaps of different materials on that object, all right? So that's pretty cool. But let's just keep going. I'm just going to delete that light for now because that's going to get distracting, all right? And let's just keep going, getting back to the kind of designing, all right? What else do we want to do here? Let's grab this shape. Let's go Shift D, escape, and just move one of these up here. It's like kind of scale it down a bit, move it across and down. Like I just want these pillars to be like a little bit sort of broken up. Shift D, escape, just move that one down. Let's go to the front mode, rotate, R, 180. So I'm just hitting R on my keyboard and then just typing in 180. Pretty good. Okay, that's cool. I want to like start adding in like a few little greebly sort of details, right? So let's muck around with that quickly. Let's go Shift A, mesh, cube, and like I'm going pretty slow with this at the moment, but you can get pretty fast at this stuff. Just gonna go, what am I gonna do? Let's just quickly scale this a bit more. All right, Control A, rotation scale, tab, Control B, come here, bevel this. All right, and I just want to put some sort of like variation into the pillars. Let's go to the front. Shift D, escape. Probably like Alt D these as well. Let's just do that. Let's go Alt D, escape. Alt D, escape. Shift D, escape. Just because I want all these to be the same. Grab that. Move across. Get them in the middle. Let's link that material. So those ones, then shift click on that one, Control L, link those materials. All right, and then I want to actually, I want to unlink that material, right? And then I've got this one here, and I want to change this and make this one a bit darker. So that should make all four of those a little bit darker. Yeah, cool. That's cool. All right. What else have we got here? Okay, so let's do the same sort of thing with this. Let's go Shift D, escape. S, scale this down a bit, but then move it out a touch. Just so we get some of those interesting breakups of shapes there. All right, let's link that material to the darker one. Maybe too dark. So let's link that one to that one. Link materials. Okay, that's better. Shift D, escape. Just go to the front. Move that down there. R 180. So just hit R on my keyboard. Just rotate it. All right, pretty cool. So just kind of like just blocking these things in. Yeah, pretty rough at this stage, but yeah, just blocking them in. All right. Now we've got. Going to do some control panels and things down below. So let's do that. How do we want to do that? All right. Let's go Shift A, mesh, cube. We've got a question. Hey, Ethan. I'm more and more using Eevee because I used to like not necessarily be able to like control it, so I'd get a good result from it. But yeah, just learning more and more about all the settings and how to control it, and I can really get like a good result from, you know, how good things look, where it's pretty much like, it's quite difficult to tell the difference now between Eevee and Cycles. And it's obviously in Eevee, it's real time. So if you can get it looking awesome in real time, then that's really cool. But sometimes I'll use Cycles if I want something to like look really schmicko, but yeah. But yeah, I can get it pretty close most of the time. All right, so let's tab into this. Tab. Yeah, it is super awesome. Like it's really powerful. Yeah. So a lot of times I'll use the add-on Physical Starlight and Atmosphere. That's like an add-on that you can purchase, which really helps with the lighting. Which is really cool. But here I'm just using a HDRI, so yeah, because like with the interior scenes, you don't really need to rely on the overall like a HDRI to light things, because everything's like inside, so it's all artificial light essentially. So you can actually just, yeah, you don't even need that. So that's why I'm just using this HDRI here, because it's a bit easier. All right, so we got this little box here, so that's cool. We're gonna do that. All right, now we're going to do a couple of things. So let's boolean this first. So let's select that one. Let's go to the modifiers and boolean, and then select color pick, this guy, and then difference, Control A, apply it. All right, and then that should have. Ooh, what did I do? What did I do? Let's go boolean, color pick that one. And then Control A. Let's hope I did this right. What is going on? Am I dreaming? What am I doing? Come on, you know you want to. Boolean. Doesn't want to work. cut in. Why you gotta be painful? This is why booleans are no good. That's working. Why don't you want to work? It's the right one. Huh. Let's I don't know what's going on. Let's see if it's going to work on this one. It's always fun when things don't work. Normally it's because I'm in edit mode or doing something stupid. But, hey, what am I doing? Done something. Let's try it with a different shape. Just decided, no working. What's going on? That one's working. Okay, weird. Oops. Control A over here. That seems like it's working fine. Alright. What did I do? What is going on? Let's get rid of that one. We could just do it. Let's just see if we can. Oops, let's undo that. Sorry guys. Shift E, escape. Let's move that down and let's just rotate that 180. Let's flip it again. Now I deleted my cue I wanted. Shift A, mesh, cube. S for scale. Just before I do too much, let's just see if it will cut out first. Lean. That one. I think that worked again. Oh, it did. Okay. Undo that. Alright, so you want to tab into this, Control B, let's bevel this so we get a nice little kind of corner to it. Alright, let's go back to this, hit G, just move this around, just trying to think about where this fits. Alright, pretty cool. And then let's try this again, take two. Oops, this one, boolean. So that one. Was that cube 2? Control A. Yay. Alright, got it working this time. Okay, and then what I want to do was just scale this down a bit, a tiny bit, and get it to sit in here. Now, the other thing I want to do is, like, it's sticking out too much. So let's just scale this all the way in. Keep scaling. Alright, and I was basically just doing that so I get this nice little like indent. Alright, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty flush there. Sweet. Alright. So that's good. And then I wanted to just Shift A, mesh, cube. Once again, I'll just do this like dodgy ways. I just make all this geo. Alright, let's tab into this. Control B and a little, just a small bevel. Let's go back to the front. Alright, so this is like a little service panel in here. Alright, I'm just going to slot that in. Yeah, so let's just scale this down a bit. I'm just trying to think about where I want this to sit. It just kind of sits there. Cool. We'll do different colors and textures and all sorts of stuff. All right, and then let's grab this one, I reckon. Let's go Shift E, escape, and let's scale this down a bit. Close down my Slack messages. All right, scale this down a bit. Just looking at my reference, how we do want this like that. Make it like that. Cool. Let's move this out a tiny bit. Cool. All right, and we could potentially do the same sort of thing here. Let's scale this up a bit. All right. Boolean this, so boolean. Select that one. Difference. Control A. Alright, I can see from the geometry that it worked alright. Yep, and just scale that down a tiny bit, ever so slightly. And then once again, just scale this down so it's flat, so the bevel's not sticking out as far. Cool. And then we've got like a nice little cut, all these little subtle cuts that will just, you know, pick up the light nicely and stuff. When they're in their scene and all textured up and everything. Should be pretty cool. So let's do the same sort of thing over here. Shift D, escape. So we got this one here. Go to the X, rotate 90. S for scale. Let's move that around. Just transform it around, you know, how you kind of want. Oops. Jeez, let's move this. Let's kind of line it all up. Think about sort of our graphic design kind of skills and just have these lining up, creating a grid here. That's gonna be pretty cool. All right. Let's scale this back out again. All Right, like that. Okay. Click on this one. Modifier, Boolean. Select. Oops. Color pick. That one. Control A. Just make sure that worked. Yes. I don't know why the other one didn't work. Booleaning, hey. Sometimes it's like I said, maybe not recommend. Alright. Let's get S, scale that down a tiny bit. Let's move it in a bit. Cool. Oh, I should have duplicated that before. Anyway, we'll just do this again. Just move down here. Oops, hang on. Shift D, escape. Then move it down. Just scale that up ever so slightly, just so it matches that other one. And let's do another little pass here. Oops, undo that. Scale it out like this. So once again, click on this one, Boolean, select that guy, Control A. Oops, no, over here, Control A. Let's move that. Yes. All right. Scale it down ever so slightly. Flatten it out again. Scale it up a bit because I think a bit too much there. Just need to move that out. Oops. Cool. Yep, that's looking good. All right. So this is let's make this some sort of material, new material. Make it a bit lighter. All right, we'll just link those two together, I think, for now. And make these ones darker, so let's just link it to that material. All right, and that one, and link those ones to that material. Cool. All right, looking pretty cool. Maybe we can do the little bullying down here on the edge again as well. Shift D, escape. Move that across, go to the front. Just try and line those up. You can even shift click on that, Control J, join the two together. So hopefully this will work now. Let's go to this one. Boolean. Select these guys. Control A. Yes. Alright, cool. And then yeah, after a while I'll start going through and really working on those like kind of secondary and tertiary details and stuff. What else? I think that the rest of it we can just have like decals on and stuff. That'll be pretty cool. We have like decals down here. Also good. Let's just do, what do I do? Let's tab into this, right? And hover over one of the parts and go P and go separate by loose parts. All right, and then I tab out, and then all of these are individual objects again, right? Pretty cool. Set the origin's gone all weird, so it's over here. So right click on it, set origin, center mass, volume, and that'll go back to the middle, right? And then we've got this guy separated out. Now what was I doing? Oh, just some little like some tiny little hinges. All right, some really small. Let's go to the front, hit G, let's move that around. Yeah, something like that. Shift D, escape. A little hinge down here. This like little service door thing. Right, let's go select that one and that. Oh no, that one. You and you. No. Ah. Get the third time around. I'll have to zoom in. Sure, fine. Be like that. You and you. Alright. And then that darker one. And then Control L and link those materials. Alright, just got some little kind of like hinge things in there. I would do stuff like this sometimes, so we could add like another little sort of bracket sort of thing. So Shift D, escape. Right. And we can just a little secondary bit here. Might need to fix it up around here, but whatever. Anyway, they're pretty small. So we just got some little tertiary kind of details happening there, which is good. All right. What else do we want to do? I'm just looking at some reference. So it's a good time, like always be looking at reference, you know, have a look for different, you know, mechanical parts and things like that. Just find some of those details that you can kind of add in and stuff, you know, think about how you could mess around with those things. So I'm seeing something here where we can run some little overlappy bits and pieces. What do I want to do? All right, let's go Shift A, mesh, cube. Oh. Yes. Right, let's move this up here. Just want to create like a little diagonal kind of thing going on. It's going to overlap over here, which will diagonal thing, sort of a triangular sort of shape, and I think that'll fit in nicely with some of our other shape language. So I'm just going to tab into this, Control R. Let's add an edge loop up here. Control R, add an edge loop sort of down here. I'm just doing this by eye. We could scale this kind of properly and stuff or whatever. It's not going to matter. So I'm going to hit number 1 on the keyboard and then toggle the X-ray mode. And I can select those vertices and hold down Shift and select that one as well. And then just move that in. Cool. All right, now let's Control A, rotation and scale. All right, tab in. All right, hit L, hit number 3, then L. All right, Control B. Let's bevel this. Tab out of that. Gotta get this working in place. All right, and let's go Alt D, escape, Control M, Y. That just flips it along the Y. Alright, let's go back to the front. Just make sure they're kind of relatively even. Alright, and then we can do so that can be a darker material. So let's grab both of those, link it to that one. Control L, link those materials. It's kind of the same as that one there. Do we want that even darker again? Maybe. All right, so grab that and that one. Control L, link those materials. All right, now let's go in here. Let's tab into this. And because I've got this as like a duplicate, as an instance. If we just hit L over it, we'll select both of them. Then we're going to go Shift D, escape, and let's go S, make this a bit bigger, and then shrink that part down. And because we've got that as an instance, it'll kind of work across both of those shapes there, which is pretty cool. Right, and let's grab those. Shift D, escape. Actually, you know what? Let's do Alt D. Both of those. Alt D, escape. Let's go to the front. That's cool. All right, so we're just sort of working out these pieces. Now we do, as we get into this sort of, you know, scene, we do just start spending lots of time making props and stuff and then kind of adding them back in. So, you know, it's sort of a bit, tedious is not the wrong word. It just becomes lots of work, right? Let's do some stuff like that. So Shift D, escape. S, let's make that a little bit bigger. Let's just grab that one, Shift D, escape. Let's go to the front, hit R on the keyboard, 180, flip that. Just move it down. Where does that need to go? Alright, cool. And then we can maybe grab these pieces here, maybe 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Shift D, escape. Here, let's go to the front. S, shrink it down a bit. Make them taller. Taller again. Right, and then just move them out. And really just sort of try and be reasonably subtle with these things, like in terms of how far they're poking out and stuff. That's the main thing when I see people do their crates and all of that kind of stuff. They just get a bit too exaggerated with the shapes, right? And that makes things like not look quite as nice. So yeah, it takes a bit of sort of mess around. All right, let's do. I'm just gonna save this. Oh, let's just save this here. Props. Hey Josh, how you going? Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Good to see you. So what was I doing? What was I saying? I've wanted to save it. All right. Okay, that's right. So I've got some, let's add like some little graphics and stuff. So basically like we've got a few of these sort of sheets that I made up and yeah, just sort of ripping stuff off the internet, right? Social media, bits and pieces, whatever. But I just want some graphics for this panel, right? So what I'm going to do is I don't even need to adjust this. So what I'm going to do is just save this out as a JPEG, and let's go save. All right, and then what I'm going to do is let's go back into Blender and let's kind of like UV this onto the faces here. So what I need to do is tab in, toggle X-ray mode off. All right, let's click on all these faces here. All these ones. All right, and then I'm going to go to the shader editor, right? So just here, shader editor, just go to object. Now I don't even need to change the material as such. Like I don't need to do a new one. Let's just muck around with this one. So I'm just going to click on the principled BSDF, Control T. All right, that's having the node wrangler turned on. Does this really useful all the time? Should go black. Very good. Then I'm going to go open, and let's open those UI graphics. All right, we're just gonna do this, and it's gonna like kind of go on the screen, right? Which is great. Then what we want to do is let's go to the front mode, all right, let's hit U, right, over the faces here, and go project from view. And you can see now they're sort of starting to get in the right kind of spot. Now, if I come down here, it's really cool. This is why I love this sort of stuff in Blender. It feels like this mix of 2D and 3D, and you can do this with so much stuff, right? So let's go down to the UV editor. All right, and you can see we've got our various like kind of shapes on here. So let's select. So what do I do? Let's do it up over there. So let's select this one. All right. Okay, and then we just hit G, which is like move in Blender. So G, and we just move that up over here. And we're gonna have it be like this stuff here. All right, and then what I'm gonna do is go S and make it bigger. And the bigger it is, the smaller those details will be on there, right? So let's like move this across and so maybe it's something like that. Something about the size of my buttons and how big some of those, like how big those elements are. Maybe we need to do that. Let's go G and just move over here. Actually, you know what I might do is grab these ones and G, just move them out of the way for a second. Just grab that and sort of get it being some of this stuff. Let's go S. All I'm trying to do is like get it so it's not cutting things off too much. And I could go in and design up really specific elements, but I think for now, this is pretty cool. I think this will be fine. All right, and then let's go back. Let's go back to these other ones, right, and just get them sort of working too, right? So, oops, all right, G. So let's go S. Right, now I can even select the individual ones, right? Select that, G. Let's move that one like over there. Let's grab this one, G. Maybe that one goes over there. We'll make that bigger. Be that, and we grab this one here, and this one can be G. We'll just move this. It can be like this bit over here. So just kind of like designing these little bits up. How cool is that, right? So you can just move all those little UVs around there so fast. It's so naughty, right? But it's great. And so now we've like kind of projected those textures onto the screens, right? Which is really cool. And then, like I said, we go in and put those lights in and get all that kind of working. So yeah, we got some buttons to do and things like that. Yeah. Hey Darius, how you going? So yeah, you can, there's all sorts of like little bits and pieces that you got to do and work on, and we'll probably get to that. But how about we just, for now, kind of just go, this is rough. I like to just also like build up a scene. Like you don't have to get everything happening right at the start. Yep, because that can get a bit overwhelming as well. Like sort of build up all the details. I don't just want to have one thing really detailed and then try to detail everything else around that. Sort of, yeah, just keep working on building it up, right? Now what I do sometimes with this, so we've got a few things here in the way, right? And I haven't even got into, oops, I haven't even got into some of the really heavy duty tertiary details and things yet, right? But what I'm going to do with this is just select it, right? And then I just Shift D, escape, and just duplicate that whole thing, and then Control J and join that all together. And then it's like just one piece, right? That's pretty cool, hey? And then I can just Control C, copy, and we go back to the actual scene. All right, and we can paste this in. Now there is all like the asset manager and all this kind of cool stuff in Blender now as well, which is awesome. There's just so many cool things that you can do. Let's just hide that roof. Oh god, where'd it go? Oh no. Hide, and we need this rotated around. What's going on? So we need it rotate minus 90. I think that's right. Yeah, very good. Okay. Now this is the fun part, right, where you kind of like throwing these things in. So where do you need to go? Let's move that across there somewhere. All right, and then move that back in. It's going to kind of fit in there. Let's delete that. Now, one of the things that I really want to be careful of here is kind of the scale of things, right? It's super important. So let's do, now, where did I put this? Hang on, I just need to go find a file quickly. See if I can find it. That was easy. All right. Sorry, just downloading a little person. All right. Bring my other bits up. Sorry. Again, sorry. Taking too long. All right, so I've got like a little generic person here, right? And I'm just gonna grab them and copy. Oops, not in there. And paste in here somewhere. Where'd you go? You know what? Let's just leave one down, sort of there on the ground, and then Shift D, escape. So this is my little generic band character. Okay, so I want to make sure that one, you know, he needs to kind of relate to the door and things, right? So I think he's a bit tall, so I want it a bit more like that. I want the door to feel like pretty big, not crazy, but like, you know, large. Not like he's gonna bump his head on it. Yeah. So that's cool. So when I do that, I feel like that's the right scale for this scene. So we also, you know, let's delete that one because I changed the scale of that. Shift D, escape. Move this one. We can change all their little rotations and things around later. Cool. And then let's go Alt H. Go to my camera. All right, that's the camera of the scene that we had. Yeah, so I feel like that gives a pretty good, that's about the right sense of scale that I was thinking, right? So it's really important. So at the moment, I'm just kind of lining that scale up with the door, right? There's also now little things that we need to bring into play. And this is the bit that I really feel like students have a bit of trouble with, is just aligning all the things so they all make sense together, right? So it's like, do the stairs even make sense, right? I just plugged in stairs, but do they actually make sense? You know, do they feel like we can just take a step and just move up the stairs each time? You know what I'm saying? I think they look pretty good. Yep, it looks like a pretty, you know, normal kind of step. Maybe like a little bit big, but nothing too crazy. So we could even just grab those and just right, just rescale those. So it feels even a little bit better. Sorry, I got a wall there in the way. Yeah, that's pretty good though. All right. And then the next thing is that these bits, I'm not so worried about. They're just like whatever scale. But the really important part is these kind of like control panels and things, yeah? So once again, we want to sort of pay good attention to that stuff. Right, so if we've got screens and things, they're kind of, at the moment, it's like too high, right? And it's like this guy, he's got like kind of these buttons, everything doesn't quite make sense. So let's scale that down a bit, right? And move it down. And I'm not even stressing about the design at the moment. I'm just like, as in, is this gonna break up here? All right, I'm not worried about that. My hierarchy of things I'm thinking about is just getting this scale right. So sort of move that down. Let's think about having button pads. Like, where you don't want button pads up high. That's not what people do, right? They're normally, the buttons are sort of like, you know, just below like kind of eye level sort of thing. Not even eye level, like sort of shoulder level, like just extend your hand out. That's where you want the buttons to kind of be, right? And the screen, you don't want it to be like up here, because like, oh, how can we read any of the stuff that's going on? Does that make sense? I feel like this is one really key thing that is difficult for students, and it goes across into like characters, like character design, and like, you know, scale on costumes and things, and then it also goes across into like environment design, right? Like you're just painting. Yeah, just that scale is really important. So there we go. I think that looks better. Yep. I'm not really sure I like this part here and behind. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, once again, we'll have to work on some of that stuff. All right. Delete that guy there. Go back to the camera. All right. I mean, you can see even if we sort of zoom in, we don't really need to have like too many details on here because you can't see them, right? Unless we do some other like camera shots, which could also be cool too, right? So just on that, let me show you how to do that a little bit. Right. So if we've got a camera, right, we're gonna have one camera here, and there's sort of the way cameras work in Blender at the start is a bit confusing, right? But if we make another camera, so if I go Shift A, where are you? Camera, right? I make a camera. You know where it went, over there. Useful. All right. So we've got the camera, and then we go to the new camera, and it's like, oh, why is it not going to the? I want it to go to the. I've made this new camera, and I'm clicking on it, but like it won't go. All right. Well, basically, it's got see this little icon here. It's got a little square around it. So that's like your active camera. So if I click on this one, that will then go to the camera 1 as my active camera, right? Now, to get to play around the camera, and I went over this not last week because I skipped a week, but the week before. We go back, we hit N on the keyboard, and in the view, we lock the camera to view, right? And then I can zoom out. Yay! And then I can just navigate through just like normal Blender, you know, and maybe we can come up with like a little different, you know, another little area here. Let's make the camera like maybe 25mm, so we get a bit more kind of coverage and dynamicness in the angles, you know, and potentially, you know, something around here could be another shot or whatever, right? So that's cool. So you can play around with shots. I have one of these things where like I get a bit anxious about the shot, and then you don't want to move the camera in case it's going to break. But what you can do is you can just have like another camera. So then I can like switch between the two different cameras, right? So that's cool. And you can have like 10 cameras in, and then you could do like 10 different shots, right? And just work out that. And then I'll just play around with the composition stuff. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm just making sure that yeah. So make sure you uncheck lock camera to view. Otherwise, if you move it around, it's going to mess up the camera again. But once that's not locked anymore, then I can go back and start, you know, playing around with these extra details. So, yeah. So what else? Let's work on some more like global elements again, potentially. Let's see here. What do I want to do? I want to have something running through here, I think. So this is another thing like I tell students about all the time, which is like try to avoid, right, having stuff that's floating. So at the moment, some of these like panels and design elements, they feel a bit like they're floating. This feels like it's not the same height as the other one. No, it is. Okay. So so what I want to do here is let's go shift and right click. That'll bring our little gizmo over here. Let's go Shift A, mesh, cube, shrink that down, make it wider, lots wider. I like that. I want to have like sort of a panel that runs in here. Alright, I want to have a panel that runs in here, and we're just going to link it to this material here. Well, link materials. Alright, cool. I might just, let's just, yeah, let's just move down. So sorry, I should explain what my thought process is there. It's creating a bit of a tangent along here, right? So I'm just trying to get this to cut nicely through those shapes there, right? And you know, yeah, it's hard to avoid tangents sometimes, but sort of do my best. I feel like already, just from like a very basic design point of view, this starts like holding things together a little bit, right? Some of these elements are sort of connecting, right? So that's kind of important. I might move. No, we'll leave that. That's fine. Okay, what else? So we're going to fix this thing up. This is going to bug me. So let's tab into this. Tab into this. Let's select that bit there. And just extrude that up. So it goes into the ceiling. So you might be like, Simon, I joined all this together and now I can't select it separately. Like, what's going on? Well, if you just select like one face from one of those pieces, hit L, and it will just select that whole thing, right? Which is pretty cool. Or you can just separate it all by loose parts. So you can do that as well, you know, which is not the end of the world because we can always hide other stuff and undo that again as well. So let's just go, for now, I think this will be easier. If I just go P and separate by loose parts and tab out, and then all of this is all separate again, right? So let's select that, select that. All right, Control J, join them together again. Shift D, escape. Oops. Let's right click, set origin to center of mass volume. What did I just do? All right, let's right click, set origin, center of mass. Surface. All right, just doing that because they're like kind of instances, so it's messing around, but there's always one that works. Shift E, escape. Let's move that up there. All right. I'm actually not liking those ones. I think that scale is kind of weird. Let's delete that stuff just for now. Anyway, whatever, we'll solve that. That's cool. I'm just gonna make this light. It's like 100. Just a bit less crazy, and then we can also, you know, just for now because it does look cool. So let's shift right click on that surface, Control A, light, point light, little point light here. Let's make it kind of blue and glowy. Make it like 20. Have it sort of sitting out the front. Maybe 20 is a bit full on. Maybe 10. All right, that's pretty cool. And you can, you know, you can also do like, you can go Shift D, escape. Oh, hang on. What happened? What did I do? Shift D, escape. And we can make like a green one here. Maybe that like 5, and Shift D, escape. Maybe over this way is like more of a yellow one or a orange one. Yeah, and you can kind of mess around with some of those colors there, which is pretty cool. And obviously the darker we make it, the more everything's gonna like kind of stand out too. So yeah, so sometimes when I'm doing these scenes, I kind of light them and they're a bit bright at the start. So let's, whatever. It's like, no, 3,000. You can also, we could change the color of the light a bit as well. We can mess around with this because probably what will happen is I'll have other lights in or something that are actual lights and things. But yeah, it's just hacking stuff in at the moment, right? Go back to the camera view. How's that all looking? You can toggle this, all those overlays off. You just click that button there, which is really cool. Let's do a little save. What else? There's heaps of stuff I'm just thinking about. what's the next one that I want to kind of do? All right, let's do a bit of like paneling. I think that could be kind of cool. So what do we want to do? How do we want to do this? All right. Let's start with this. So let's go Shift D, escape. Just trying to think of like a smart way to do this, right? So it's rotate 90. All right, scale this down. All right. We need it to come out of the wall. All right. In there, okay, that's good. This is going to become one of those like sort of repeating elements that hopefully is going to be pretty cool. Let's have a look. All right, what do we want to do? I'm just going to right click on this, Shift A, mesh, cube. All right, let's add in another cube here. Tab in, Control B, bevel. Let's tab out of that. Let's go Shift D, escape. Scale that. Drag it out here a bit. Scale, let's do a little trick with the boolean. So let's grab this one. Add modifier. Oh, no. Boolean. Color pick that one. Control A over top there. All right, scale this one down. Yep, something like that. That's cool. Okay, so I'm just trying to create like a little repeated texture here. So let's grab that one and Control J and join them together. All right, what do we want to do here? Let's move it up. Oops. And let's do like an array modifier. So let's come in here and go array. We're gonna have that as 0, and I guess it's the Z1. Yeah, -1. Negative 1.1. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's do that, and then let's adjust the count. Yeah, and then you can get crazy, right? All right, so what was it? 6. Let's move that up. Let's make it 5. Yep, that fits in there pretty good. All right, and then I want to move these in. All right, and then let's grab this. Right, and join that. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay, we need to apply this array modifier. So you can click on the little triangle or go apply or Control A, and then shift click on this one and Control J. All that's doing is making them all the same material, right? Let's just undo that. So let's fix this one first. So let's go into material, new material, and yeah, I actually kind of want it to be quite light. Maybe it's yeah, that'll do for now. Anyway, let's see. Control J, merge that together. So you can see when it doesn't have a material and you merge it together, it takes on the material of the object that you're merging into. But if they have separate materials, then it won't do that, right? And it will sort of put both of those materials into the one piece. Okay, so that's what's happening. So then with this one, let's then do an array with this. So let's go to the modifiers, array, and let's make it, so let's move this one over here first into the side of the wall, and we want to make it like 1.1. Cool. Yep. All right, and let's move that all in. So it's like just very subtle. Let's actually come in here. Oops, wrong. Let's tab in. All right, let's go L. Just like that. Go L. Yep. Control A. No, that won't work. Can I tab out? What happens if I do that? Control A, rotation scale. Control B. Bevel, but just get a bit of a bevel there. That's better. All right, now let's come back here and let's make this 1.05. Cool. Go to the front and then let's add pattern, right? How cool is that? So it's like super fast when you do that. It's awesome, hey? That's cool. And then, like I said, once again, sort of like we can deal with the secondary, tertiary details later. So it's just sort of like a block in. What else? I might go maybe this material. Let's go into the material, unlink that. And I want this one to be a little bit lighter. Not that one. Yeah, cool. And then we can grab this and what do I want to do? Alt D. Grab that one. Cool. Let's rotate it. Rotate it 90. Move that down there. Can't see what we're doing. Hopefully that worked. Alright, let's do that array there. Sorry, getting a bit hard with the roof on there, isn't it? Let's do a bit of that. Alright, so let's move that in. Sits pretty much on the wall. Right click, set origin. Oh, no. Right click, set origin to... No, moves that around. Whatever. We can just deal with this. Okay, and then we go Alt D, escape. Go up to the top and rotate 180. Move that down as well. But yeah, as you see, as you start doing these things, it will come together pretty quick. Which is very cool. Gotta probably work on that corner a bit. So we have the camera, Alt H. Yeah, cool. Should we get some fog in there? Get some atmosphere? Actually, I might even... Can we muck around? Let's muck around with some stuff on here, right? Let's do a little sort of grid system. See what that does. Shift E, escape. like a floating lattice thing up here. Just want to go, yeah, okay. So I need to make sure I sort of move it down the back a bit more there. All right, let's just hide this one for a second. Sorry, hide. do my head in. Alt D, escape. Oh, you know what? We'll just do this as an array because it's way faster. Hey, array. No. Which one is it? X. No. Oh. No. Oh, I get it. 2. Okay. Better. 3. Sure. All right. Shift D, escape. Rotate 90. G, smooth them around. Whatever. Let's go to the camera because I just want to make sure they're like not doing weird stuff. All right. That's cool. So now we've got that happening. Let's move that light. I think if I move this light up a bit, it's going to do some fun stuff. But yeah. But not sure. That's pretty cool. And then let's maybe go back down to that light and make it a bit more intense, maybe? All right. So that's pretty cool. And then, let's just try and move it. Let's move it up. Oh, hang on. We've got the other thing. Whoops. Move that back. Yeah, Alt H. Nope, no. Alt H. Because we've got that other roof bit. So we need to pay attention to that. Okay, that's cool anyway. Whatever. I like that. Yeah, that's kind of cool. All right. Let's do some atmosphere. So Control S. So like, I mean, I don't really need to do this just yet, but let's just do it because it's cool. And then it shows you guys how to do it. And if you want to do it, you can. All right. So let's go Control A. Oh, oops. No, sorry. Shift A. Mesh cube. All right. And let's make it giant cube like that. It kind of goes around everything. Even bigger. Okay. I saved just in case. May die. Right, but then instead let's make this a new material, and what we're going to do is make this a principled volume. This one should go black. Very good, very good. All right, and then let's just go to the camera so we can, hopefully it'll be cool. We'll see. And then what we're going to do is come down here to the shader editor in the object mode, right, this time. Okay, and then what we're going to do is make the density 0.001. And the emission 0.001, and nothing changes. I know why. All right, so you're like, oh god, what's going on? Actually, let's undo that. Let's see what we've got. It's just a silly way of doing it. Oops. Edit. Redo. All right, so we need to plug this volume node into the, instead of being in the surface, into volume, right? And that'll stop it from being black. Okay, and now we do the same thing. So 0.001 and emission 0.001. Oh yeah. And now we've got some fog. Now what I want to do is like this cube, let's very quickly change this to say fog. All right, because these are alphabetical order, so you'll know that fog will kind of go down here. So if I toggle that on and off, so let's make the density 0.01. We can get some nice. So yeah, getting some nice light fog in there, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and you can obviously you can control it. So this is my box, and then you can, move it backwards, forwards, whatever you kind of want. So I think if we do it like that, we've lost the fog. There we go. We've got some in there now. So yeah, it's pretty cool, but that really adds like a really nice sense of atmosphere. Then what else I could do is let's go back to the world and let's change this to 0.3. And this is going to make everything darker, right? So it's just making the whole HDRI, all right, darker. Go back to camera. That's why camera's great, having that all set up. 0.1, maybe 0.3. Right, it's getting a bit dark in the foreground, but obviously we can put more lights in there and stuff, right? But that's pretty cool. So now we're getting some atmosphere, and you can muck around with the color of that as well. So if we go back to the fog and go back to the object, all right. We can sort of change it. You can see it's more green, maybe more red, and just white, blue. How dark is it and stuff? How light is it? You can play around with all those things. Very cool, right? Super awesome. So yeah, Ethan, this sort of gets back to my thing of like, you know, whether you use EV or cycles and stuff. And I feel like if you know the techniques for how to get all these things kind of lined up, you can really, you can make it look pretty sweet just in EV. Because we're in EV at the moment, it's just real time. Toggle that off. It's pretty, you know, pretty cool. You can also, there's some other stuff which you can, in the render properties tab, right, you get down the bottom, you got color management, and you can click on curves, and you can use curves, which are basically exactly like Photoshop, and you can, make the whole scene darker, like and lighter, you know, punchier, whatever you want to do, and then you don't have to actually like do that all completely in the lighting, which is pretty awesome. So red, we could like pull the reds out, right? Green, pull those greens out. Yeah, how cool is that? So you can kind of do all that stuff as well. But let's just untick curves at the moment and just sort of play around with this. All right. Probably for most of the time while I'm like modeling stuff, I'll turn fog off because it's going to be a bit sort of overwhelming to deal with. But certainly with setting up that little lattice thing up the top, we get some cool kind of light things going on, which is pretty nice. So what else here? Let's well, I do want to pull these out because I saw that last week and I was like, we need to fix those. Oops. Oops. Shift would be helpful. So I kind of can't see the cross beam in those. Just want to pull those out. Something like that, cool. Yeah, but you can see pretty quickly you'll make kind of strides with this stuff, especially using those like arrays and like kind of using the instances. All right, so the next little bits to kind of work on is like the door, all right, these pillars on the side, all of that kind of stuff. So let's maybe do the pillars on the side for the time being. All right, and see what we can get kind of going on there. So what I might do is, let's try and model these in the scene just because we've already got them set up as an instance, and if we don't, we'd have to kind of do that again, which you could do. It doesn't really take very long, but I'm just going to try and do this in here, I think. The other thing I could do, right, is just hide a lot of stuff. So hide. Oh, we don't. If I hide that, it's going to hide all of them. No, it's not. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. All right. What else? Hide that stuff. Hide that stuff. Hide the roof. All right. And let's get to kind of modeling this. So let's bevel this. I might. You know what? It's probably like a bit hard. Maybe we'll just. Let's just copy this. Alt H. Go back to the camera. All right. Let's just copy it. Put it in the other scene. Where are you? All right. Put it in here. Now, sometimes what you find is when you start zooming around things and panning, the blender starts freaking out a bit. So what you can do is just shift right click there and just go view, align view, align center cursor and frame all. All right, and then you'll find that it'll just work back to like rotating around that piece, which is better. All right, so let's quickly work on this. I'm going to tab in here. All right, P, separate the loose parts. Tab out, just got those as separate elements. Let's do this a bit faster, hey? So let's tab into here. L, Control B. Probably didn't note. Tab out. Control A, rotation scale. Tab in, Control B. Let's bevel that. All right, now. I'm just looking at my reference, my little drawing I did, just thinking about what we're going to do here. All right. Let's add some sort of like vents and stuff. Let's do that first, hey? So let's shift click. Let's tab out of this. Control A, mesh, cube. The right way. What happened? Feels better. Okay. Let's do that. Let's scale. How you guys going? Anyone got any questions or anything? Just watching along. Tab in, Control R. You're just like, when is it going to get good, Simon? Alright. Now, what do I do? Let's hit number 1 on the keyboard, toggle X-ray. Select that, and that, and that, and that. Just scale these. Cool. Let's tab out there. Control A, rotation scale. Control B. Oops. Tab in. Number 3. L. Control B. Better. Okay, so. Okay, so let's do our same sort of little trick. So let's select this one, modifier, boolean, select that one, Control A, all right, S, just a tiny bit, shrink that down, push this in. This time I'm going to push it in a little bit further, right? Maybe something like that. Maybe even a little bit further. Oh, that's gone past the boolean. All right. Oh, maybe we don't need that. Oh, yeah, we do, because then we'll just get a nice little edge there. That's cool. Yep. I'm going to, let's hide that one. It's going to be painful because it's going to, oh no, we're all good. So let's come into here. Let's go tab, X-ray off, hit number 3 on the keyboard. Oh, I see what's happening. That's that pillar behind it. Tab out, hide that one. Tab in. Let's select these ones. Oh no. Whatever. Don't worry. Too hard. Oops. Alt H in the too hard basket. Let's not worry about that. All right. Okay, and then let's go Shift A, Mesh, Cube, Scale, So just making some little vent pieces here, and let's up to the top. Oops. Let's go new material. Let's make it like that dark material, so I can just do it from the drop down tab. No, that should have all pretty much most of the materials that I've been using. And we will do some other fancy stuff with the materials as well in a bit. Let's just scale this down so it's not going out of the edges too much. Let's see how we're going here. All right. Once again, do a little bevel on this as well. The navigation's going weird. View, line view. Okay, better. All right, let's tab into this. No, escape. Oh, tab out. Control A, rotation scale. Tab in. Control B. Let's get a little bevel on there. Good. That's good. All right, and then let's do like a little. Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Jaden. Yeah, comes out good, eh? You just make some nice little patterns. Yeah, patterns are, I like patterns. We like wallpaper. It's cool. Or like tiles on the floor that have patterns. It's cool. So you just, yeah, you do it in your sci-fi stuff. Looks cool. All right, and then let's do array. 0. Oh, -1, minus 1.1, no, 1.5, sure, okay. Cool, and we got some kind of like vent stuff. What else do we want to do? Let's grab that shape. H. Where's that one? There. Shift E, escape. Let's grab that shape there. And let's just pull that out a bit. Control M, Z. Let's flip it upside down. Material. Don't know yet. Just playing. Let's grab that one again. Shift D, escape. Let's scale it up a tiny bit. Right then, shrink it right down. Alt H, unhide all of that stuff. Fronts. Yeah, Shift D, escape. Like you could do an array for that stuff as well, but you know, I don't know, it's only a couple of them, who cares? It's just probably faster doing it that way. Let's grab like this one, make that material, but now let's muck around with this material. Let's make it a bit more metallic, a bit more spec, a bit less roughness. Control A, rotation scale, tab, L, Control B. Oops. I'll do that. Control B. That. Just tab out. Shift D. Escape. S. Make it a bit bigger. Scale it down. Oh, I like that. Like that. Don't know why that doesn't feel like it's in the middle. Shift E, escape. Those on the edge. Just click it over there, link it to that material. Shift D, escape. Pretty cool, just in terms of just a rough sort of blocking. Shift D, escape. Tap into this, Control R, and an edge loop there. Hit number 1 on the keyboard, probably X-ray. I find you can really do a lot with these little pieces that you plug together. Shift E, escape, S. Actually, should have done it that way anyway. Is that a material? No. Let's make that the lighter material. So that one in there that needs a material too. Grab that one, link that to that material. We can also kind of think out the box a little bit and, oh, hang on, what did I do? I must have moved this at some point. So how about you guys go in the middle there? That's better. All right, so let's think outside the square a little bit. Shift E, escape, and let's go to the top and rotate that 90. Move some onto the side here. Hope I did this the right way around. Oh, no, go that way. Maybe just scale this out a bit. Just so I'm getting a nice transition down here as well. Shift E, escape, rotate. Oh no, that's not going to work. Control M, X. Cool, and then we're sort of mucking around with those bits as well. Shift E, escape. Just transitioning those side pieces. And then we can also do sort of like logos and things. on top of all of this. Once again, just don't have it extruded out too far. We have little logos. Let's do some really quick sort of paneling stuff here too, right? Do some little cylinders. Shift A, mesh cylinder. Let's rotate it. Hold down Control. That'll snap it to like 5-degree increments. All right. Just how big? I kind of want them even smaller. That doesn't look like it rotated. It looks like it's not not straight to me. It's a bit dodgy. Oops. I probably just made it 95 or 85 or something. My bad. Alright, so let's do that. And let's do a modifier, an array, and let's just, what do I do? Minus 1.8. Make that 1.6. Sure. Alright, and let's just apply that array. Let's do another one. Array and 1.6. Cool. Control A, apply it. Alright. Let's grab this here. Boolean. Select our cylinders. Control A. Oh, it didn't work. Yeah. Why? But how do I fix that? Sure I did it on the right thing. Don't know. Anyway, we'll just. Uh-oh. Don't crash, please. Uh-oh. I'm doing a Boolean. Yeah. Why is that working now? Yeah, it's so good. Oops. Uh-oh. No. Oops. Let's just do them sticking out instead of sticking in. That'll do for the time being. Oops. That one. Link those materials. Maybe we need to make that slightly darker material. Unlink it. cool. And yeah, we're just getting that sort of pattern. Might even just Shift D, escape. Okay. So once again, same little technique. Let's grab all of, well, let's click on it first. Grab all of that. All right, Shift D, escape. Get a duplicate of it, and then Control J, join that all together. Copy. Let's go into here. Paste. Yeah. The stupid roof. Okay. Why'd you rotate around? Rotate -90. Delete the old one. All right, and then let's Alt D. Delete, Alt D, escape. Delete. One more. Alt D, escape. Oh, where did I move that to? Delete that one. All right. Now we don't need. Oh, we can probably. These. That. Alt D, escape. Rotate 180. Very good. Let's try and get him sticking into the wall the same amount. That looks pretty close. All right, let's have a look. Alt H, unhide, get to the camera. Okay, very cool. Yeah, so you can see how that really quickly adds to the scene, right? Just building all those things up. So yeah, obviously we got some little things we've got to fix and amend, but because they're like an instance, if I just do that to one, it should do that to all of them, which is pretty cool. Now we've got these like two different cameras, so we can have a look at the scene, you know, there. We can have a look at the scene there, and we've got our fog in there, so you know you can have the fog on or off. You know, even for that close camera, it might actually be that it's off, and that might look a bit better. And then playing around with all your lights and everything, we did a bit of like UVing and adding sort of, you know, control panels and user interface types of things. And yeah, still lots to go. Right, so I guess you imagine if we start, you know, these are probably you know, these are probably 70% done, you know, 70% done. So if we say these are like 20% done, you know, need to work on all those details here in the door and the floor, and yeah. But as you go through, you're going to add all those details, and it does start, the more pieces you make, you know, the faster it will start coming together. For example, let's just do one last thing, right? So we could even, you know, grab some of these, right? Shift D, escape, and use these like on the floor. Hide all the roof for the 800th time. Could join all that together and then I wouldn't have to worry about it. Let's rotate this. All right. No, hang on. Sorry about that. Okay, rotate. 20. grab that one, Control J. Now, one of my pet peeves is like floors looking like you're gonna trip all over them. Like, I hate that. It's like people do floors like this. It's like, oh my god, if I step on this, I'm gonna break my ankle, right? And they have all this crazy detail everywhere. Like, oh, there's one there, there's one there. Yeah, so be a bit subtle with it. But yeah, I mean, let's try and get this in there. Middle. But all I'm getting at is that once you've got pieces, let's do that. Pretty good. It's like once you got pieces, you can really kind of like kit bash with them. So what I might do here is like muck around with the scale, right? So make these not so like sticky outy. We can put it on the floor. Scale it down again, and then all that work you sort of did, those pieces, is actually kind of coming into play. And then you're also creating a bit of a like visual language, you know. I could delete all these. Oops. Oh no, yeah, I'll tell you what I'm doing because the instance don't do that. Anyway, we can fix that later, but you get the idea, right? So, oh yeah, that was that. That's that. Oh H. Oh, fog. Turn you off. What am I doing? Another camera. Turn the fog back on. Works better from other angles. Yeah, turn all these gizmos off, but yeah, you get the idea, right? So obviously the floor's not gonna fix that. But yeah, but once you've got these pieces, and that might not be the floor thing, it might be these paneling or whatever the case may be, right? You use all sorts of pieces, but you keep bashing it. And it really does help create that sort of like visual language, because once you got sort of like, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 10 pieces, you're not creating new shapes for everything. You're sort of just using limited pieces, and that actually makes it feel a bit more real, which is pretty cool. So yeah, really really looking forward to working on this some more. Like I said, remember you got these little curves and stuff you can mess around with, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so really looking forward to working on this some more and finishing up and really getting into those details and getting it done. So yeah, thanks for tuning into the stream, guys, and I'll see you again next week.